Hey guys, so this video has been a long time coming, but as I've been promising for a good bit now, I wanted to make sure that I do go ahead and put out my 2023 financial goals. So that's what this video is. Now, a lot of you might be like, okay, but it's April. We're already 4 months into the year. What is the point of making the video at this point? Well, the point is that I've actually had these goals prepared mentally, and I've been working on them throughout the year. But I haven't been able to make a whole lot of videos because my life's been so crazy. So I wanted to put this out there to show you guys what the plan is, like what I'm working on in the background when I'm not making videos. You guys know I'm working so much, but what am I working for? And this is what all that money that I'm making is going to. So first thing is that this plan has already changed several times since I originally conceptualized it. And I've also already made some progress. The original idea for the year was that starting in January, I was going to start putting money away again. And I was going to put 5% of everything I earned from my TaskRabbit tasks toward my car for future repairs or for ultimate replacement, and then 5% would go into savings, and I would start my emergency fund. But then things didn't work out that way, and I didn't have any TaskRabbit tasks in January at all. So as my income has changed, my goals have had to change along with it. Another thing that's come up so far is that I have really had to come to terms with how humble I'm going to have to be about what my goals are this year, really for two reasons. Number one, I am in a really bad place financially, and so that means that I'm not going to be able to make huge goals as far as what I can get accomplished financially this year. And then the second thing is just my resource of time is also very limited. I had hoped to go back to the gym this year and really get in shape, but what I've realized is after I did that for a couple of weeks and noticed how tired I was and how everything else in my life wasn't getting done, I just simply don't have enough of the resource of time. And that's the thing that's going to have to get cut. So primarily because of money and because of time, there are only two things that I can really actually put my attention and focus into this year. And my attention and focus is going to be fully on those two things. The first is making money. I don't have money, so I need to go make money. That means that I have to spend a lot of the resource of time working. Now, that's going to change over the course of the year. Right now, that's a lot of DoorDash. Later in the year, hopefully that's going to be a lot of TaskRabbit. But it's also going to change as the seasons progress, and it's going to depend on where I'm living as well, as far as what work is available. But still, my goal is to create as much money as possible. And that's because I have these financial goals that I need to catch up with, and I have a lawsuit to finance. Essentially, I'm trying to get my life together, but at the same time knowing that an abundance of money also helps buy more time, because I can not do everything myself and pay to have other people help me with that. Now, you might call this the first goal, or maybe this is something that just has to be out of the way before I can get any of the other goals accomplished. But I have to get caught up on my bills. So while I'm working so much, that is the first goal, is to get caught up on all of the past due bills. I have already made some progress in this, but still, I'm 2 months behind on both of my storage units, mine and my mom's. I'm 2 months behind on both of my student loans, my private ones, and I am 2 months behind on both of my credit cards. But I'm also at a point right now with the lawsuit where I have a lot more time available because nothing's due right away, and anything that is due in the next few months is pretty flexible. So basically I can devote all that time to working, to making money, to be able to pay toward those goals. So like I said before, I have to be extremely humble with my goals. And one that I've already accomplished so far this year is that I got shoes. I have not had shoes that have had a bottom in them since somewhere around October, and just about 2 weeks ago now, I have shoes. So that helps a lot. Those are the types of things that I'm working on this year. I'm also going to need an eye exam. I'm on literally my last pair of contacts, so I'm gonna have to get an eye exam to get a prescription and then to get those. I've got to get my teeth cleaned, and I'm way behind on that. So basically, I'm just trying to get myself back on track with just the very basics in life. But on top of that, you guys know that I have some bigger, major things that I've got to take care of this year. First of all, I have the lawsuit, which I have to work all the time in order to finance. That takes a lot of my time and my attention. So between as much as I have to work to catch up and rebuild my life, and then also as much time as it takes to work on that lawsuit, then that is that interplay in the two goals, money and lawsuit. Those are the only two things I can focus on this year. In the meantime, though, I will still be in the background, getting myself caught up, getting my life together, but it's going to be in these very small ways, like getting my teeth cleaned or getting shoes. I just want to get myself back on track, essentially. And while I'm incredibly busy with the lawsuit and with working so many hours, there was one thing that has to happen this year. And so this is probably more part of the money goal, but I have to move. And that is going to be something that, number one, I have to finance. And number two, I have to coordinate amongst all the other things I'm doing without having any time. So what I'm going to do, and I've already started to do this, is I am putting $1 away for each delivery that I do. Right now I'm delivering for DoorDash and Uber Eats, and currently not getting any TaskRabbit tasks, but I hopefully will here coming up pretty soon. And what I'm doing is putting that $1 away until I have enough put aside, because I have literally nothing in savings, to have a security deposit saved up and the prorated first month's rent. That way I can move and get the hell out of here. And I believe, in fact I'm sure, that that's going to help my overall mental health, and it's going to help my finances because of the absolute ludicrous waste of utilities from my roommates, which makes my quarter of the utilities over $300 every month. And it will just get me back having my own space and being able to get my life organized. But it's also going to get me in Columbus, which is where all my work opportunities are. And last year was so difficult trying to work so much and then having to commute back every night. And I'm going to be able to work so much more just physically being in Columbus where those work opportunities are. So that is going to happen by the end of the year, and most likely going to happen by August, is that I will use this method to save up all this money, and then I will move up there where I have work. My rent will be more, but my utilities will be far less. And overall, I will have my own place, so I'll be in a much better position, but I'll be paying less overall between rent and utilities for something much better. And while being there, having access to all the opportunities for making more money that the city provides. And I plan to continue doing that $1 per delivery or whatever kind of formula I work out for that with TaskRabbit tasks as a means of putting money away after I've saved up enough for the apartment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting it toward my credit cards. Now, I know a lot of you are probably like, you should save that. Like, you should really put that away in savings. But here's my thought. If I put it toward the credit card, it's going to basically kill two birds with one stone. And what I mean by that is, if I put the money in savings, it's just there, right? It's like an emergency fund. But if I put it toward the credit card, it pays down that debt, and that helps my credit score, which will, hopefully help me reduce interest rates on things, but also to get me into an apartment, because I'm not even sure I can actually get approved for one right now. And then that available credit is there if I need to use it, or if I need to take a cash advance from the credit card. I know that's not ideal, but I feel like by putting the money toward the credit card and paying down that balance, I still have access to it if I need it, by using the credit card or by a cash advance. But it, at the same time, is going to increase my credit score by lowering the debt that I owe. So anyway, guys, I know I sound pretty frazzled, but this is actually the second time I filmed this video. The first one was pretty bad. So I decided to completely refilm this, and even though it's going to make it even later, I wanted to make this make more sense, and I hope this did. I know that's not very many goals, but like I said, I'm very limited on time, and I'm very limited on the money that can be put aside for goals. So I have to be super humble this year. And by the end of the year, I really just want all of this past stuff that I'm behind on to be caught up. And I want to be moved to Columbus in my own apartment, and with hopefully some savings, or at least having my credit cards paid down. And I will make a check-in video with you guys. Even though I'm putting this up super late in the year, we'll still do the mid-year check-in. I'll have that up sometime in July as a 6-month update. And then we'll make another one at the very end of the year just to check in and see where things are. But I think it's almost certain that things will be in a better place from where they are now. And I will continue trying to make videos on the channel when I can. And as my life gets a little less chaotic throughout the year, I'll get back to making more regular content. But for now, just know that these goals are what I'm working on in the background while you're not hearing from me.